Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, I give it a solid B. That is going to piss off everybody on all sides, but I've got 3 reasons why I loved it and 3 reasons why I think there were some missed opportunities. Light spoilers ahead. Let's start with the positives. Number 1, that ending with Odysseus and Penelope and Telemachus coming together and Argos, and you mix in there Robert Pattinson and his just creepy evilness. Just well done. I choked up a couple of times. I really like the ending. Number 2, I like that Christopher Nolan took a risk on the character arc of Odysseus. It is different than the character arc in Homer. There it's more about pride and hubris. Here it's like he had something bigger and deeper to say, like about the monsters that we can become. It was risky, but it worked. Number 3, there were some creative choices he made that were just super cool. I know it gets a lot of hate online, but the actual Trojan horse itself, I thought it looked freaking cool. I know a lot of people are like, that's too refined. It looks like it's 3D printed. And I'm sorry, but Christopher Nolan, who gave us the coolest Batmobile ever, I think he gave us a really cool Trojan horse. I love that it didn't have wheels, that it was half buried in the sand, and they had to drag it in and then prop it up. I just thought that was so cool. I mean, they weren't wheeling it in, like on Monty Python. I just thought it was cool. And then it shows the men inside and how they're right on top of each other and they're trying not to drown and they're just barely surviving. Another creative choice that I really loved was Circe when she's changing the men. I thought that was so creative and so visceral. And then I also really liked Cyclops' face. I just thought it was just disturbing and distorted, and I just loved it. So those are some of the things I really liked. Where were there missed opportunities? There was a series of events that happened that I just thought he just clocked in. Like, he was just checking boxes. And I'm talking about a little bit of Circe didn't work for me, but that was generally okay. But it was more about the sirens and then the whirlpool and then Scylla. I'm sorry, the sirens, that's one of the best metaphors of all time. And they just kind of go by it and they see them from afar away, have them going through like some cliff faces and they're on all the sides. And I just thought there was some missed opportunity for increasing the drama. They're just kind of floating by in the daytime. And then they come upon this whirlpool that I'm sorry, I've seen bigger, more frightening whirlpools in my bathtub when I take out the plug. Give us a whirlpool that I'm afraid of. And then Scylla just didn't work for me. So sorry, I just thought those were just check, check, check. We got through those. Let's move on to other things. So missed opportunities there. The other thing that I didn't love was Odysseus' crew. I felt like you didn't really get to know any of them. When you've got a whole posse that's going on a journey or a trek or an Odyssey, get to know the characters so that when one dies, you feel it. And I just didn't feel that. As they get plucked off or as they die or a whole ship would die, there was no moment of us connecting with a younger one at the beginning and then we lose him later and you see the men fret over it. There was none of that. And so as these people die, there's weight to it. Where these just got plucked off and it's just like they were afterthoughts. And then finally, even though I love the ending, there is a part of the ending in the book having to do with Odysseus and Penelope's bed and this game she plays with him to just make sure he is who he says he is, and it shows her wit. It just is so epic. It could have just tied it together so nicely, and it wasn't there, even though I love the ending. I was just like, but they hadn't set it up earlier, so I knew, this isn't coming. So I just missed that. What do you think about my B grading? Am I full of crap? Did I nail it? Tell me what you think.